Yes, people, welcome to LFC Red Forever channel. So let's do this. Let's start the preview show. We're going to be obviously listening to Jurgen Klopp's press conference about Liverpool and Bournemouth, and then we're going to move on to the actual match. We'll talk about FSG today as well, and then we're going to do the starting lineup. So let's do this, people. Let's do this.
Hello everybody, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily contents. Hello everybody, like, subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily contents.
I need to learn how to use this new YouTube business, man. It's crazy. And StreamYard as well. Much appreciated for the people that's tuning in as well. Yes, Ian Rush at the end. My hero. I met one of my heroes as growing up as a kid in the 80s and the 90s, of course. We're going to talk about FSG. We're going to do the obviously press conference with Jurgen Klopp, and we're going to talk about the starting lineup and probably what threat Bournemouth can cause us as well. There's a message here. 1 second, people. Dugout, please, if you're watching this channel, people, go and subscribe to Dugout. He's a quality content creator, so please go and subscribe to him. Thank you very much, brother. Thank you for the 700. Yeah, 700. Listen, I'm all about bringing content. Numbers are numbers, but you know, it helps, innit? It helps. So thank you very much, Doug. Honestly, thank you very much, brother. Yeah, so we're gonna start with FSG and that plane over Anfield. FSG have responded, but I've heard the Echo had this story from FSG beforehand. So let's talk about FSG. Yeah, so a lot of you may know there was a plane flying over Liverpool Stadium at the weekend against Man United. It was when the players were coming out, and they're standing on the line, and the plane just flew over, and it was saying Klopp in and FSG out. I agree with it. You know what I mean? Like I said in the beginning, it was a statement to the owners that we don't deserve what we're seeing. We don't deserve this neglect from ownership. Like when I'm on Twitter, a lot of people message me when I talk about them in a negative way. That's my opinion. I don't judge you for your opinion. I don't go to your profile in Twitter and criticize your issues or what you like or what you dislike. You know what I mean? So leave my opinion to myself, and I'll share it the way I want to do it. Like I said, I'm 44. I supported Liverpool all my life. I remember the 80s when it was the good times. I remember the 90s when it was bad times. Noughties, not bit between. But I've learned along the way, like how people treat us. And if I disagree with it, I'm going to share it. That's what I do. I mean, that's how I control my life. Yeah, I'm not going to be nice to everyone that treats me bad, you know what I mean, in life. So why do I have to have that in my football club as well at the same time? Yes, FSG have bought us a league title. They bought us a Champions League and all that stuff. I'm grateful for that. But if it wasn't for a manager like Klopp, look at the managers they had before that. What did they do? Yes, we competed for the title one season, but we didn't actually win it. I mean, so it shows that it wasn't always successful before Jurgen Klopp. The success came when Jurgen Klopp came. He promised us things and he delivered. But the thing is, we didn't add on to that to get to the next level. And where does that come from? It comes from the owners. If the owners don't invest, the team will actually deteriorate. And that's what's happened to us as well. And not only that, the team is aging at the same time. So the likes of Arsenal and teams like that will take over and, you know, have their own way in the league. As we can see, Arsenal's top of the league. They're challenging for the title. They're looking impressive. That's because Liverpool Football Club stood still. That's why. If our owners are standing still, this is what happens. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be like a miracle every single time club enters a pitch. He's gonna actually work everything to his advantage. It's not gonna happen. See, this is what I keep telling people. FSG, they're good owners, but for another club. Liverpool Football Club, the standards should always be high. That's how I see it. That's how I've grown up. You know what I mean? And I gave that 30 years a chance to see if we could come back again. We came back. Now we're going back down again. And it's all down to the ownership. If you hear Jurgen Klopp's interviews, I keep telling people, he says things in a way to not like show that he's criticizing the owners, but he is, if you know what I mean. So if you look at the interviews, don't just look at it from a point of view, oh, he's saying what he's saying. Look back, think about what he's saying, and he's informing you that he stayed in the job because he didn't get the investment that he wanted, and he didn't want to leave the team in a bad way. Do you get what I'm saying? This is why he stayed behind. This is why he's still here. 2024, that was him leaving, but he had to stay behind because the investment wasn't there and the team is in a bad shape and the players are getting older. That's why. So you got to look at his interviews and understand where he's coming from, because when people look at Klopp's interviews, they think he's not criticizing the owners. He is in a certain way, and I listen to him. And I understand where he's coming from. He still says sell to buy. We have to like sell 3 or 4 players to get new ones in. Why do we have to do that? Why do we have to sell our best players all the time as well? We don't have to do things like that if we had the right owners in. So this is why I don't hate FSG. Please don't get me wrong. I don't hate FSG. FSG have done wonders for this club. They've done miracles for this club, especially where we was when those Cowboys were there. But they've reached their limit. They're asking for investors to come in and invest in Liverpool in order for us to spend money. What kind of club are we? Are we a poor man's club or something? Think about it, man. So this is the issues I've been having with FSG. And I agree with my brothers that is actually doing this FSG app banners and going out over Anfield. As long as we have a plan in place, a structure in place that we are all together and we're not going to end it here until these owners listen. I mean, I'm going to be right behind it. And I believe in what they say. And those people that criticize them, it's ridiculous. Like, what's it to do with you? These people spend their hard-earned money to watch Liverpool and buy £100 shirts. They buy £60 shirts. They buy all this stuff. Do they complain about it? No, they invest in the club. So they got every right to have criticism if they wanted to criticize the owners. I mean, these owners don't care about us. They never did. I mean, look at they put the staff on follow. They done the Super League. They done Project Big Picture. It's the endless the things they've done. I mean, Carroll had to be furloughed. You know what I mean? Like, come on, think about it, people. And this is like a regular thing with these owners. They test the water, they try it out and see how it comes out afterwards. That's what they do. And that's a typical businessman performance. If you own a business and you run businesses, that's how they perform, and they're doing that on a regular basis. So yeah, people, that's my rant on FSG. So let's look at what Klopp is saying. I haven't actually watched it, so you can watch along with me and see what he's saying, and we can make our own judgments after that as well. Hopefully it comes on anytime soon. Yeah, like I put a video up recently. I put together from
after the international break for him to be back. Joe Gomez, how's he? How's Thiago as well? How far away is he?
All 3 not available. Different stages, I would say. Dewey might be able to train beginning of the week. Lewis, I hope during next week. Yes, after the national break, then obviously for both possible. Thiago, we will see. He did so. None of them trained yet with the team. So, and then we will see how that develops in the next couple of weeks. Then we won't know more. Apart from that, from the last game, nothing that I heard about.
Two parts to this next question. Mike Gordon has resumed his involvement at the club. What difference does that make to you? Obviously, we've also heard the quotes from John W. Henry as well, where he says that we will continue building at Liverpool in a responsible manner. We have and will continue investing wisely in the transfer market. So what does that mean in terms of your ability to bring in the players that you want in the summer transfer window? For instance, does it make a signing of the magnitude of a Jude Bellingham more likely or less likely?
Nothing to do with any kind of names or players. It's just about John is right. So if you have a look, the players we brought in the last couple of transfer windows.
Yes, as you can hear, people, Mark Gordon is back. There you go. I told you, testing the waters. Big up, Rich. Big up, guys. Please go and subscribe to Rich Sports. He's a Man United fan, but he has a lot of people on his channel from different clubs as well. And he helped a lot of people on YouTube in the past as well. So please, and the president, sorry, please go and subscribe to him. Big up, brother, man. Big up. I'm glad that like we're all back together like we used to be on here as well. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, as you can hear, Mark Gordon is back at the club. And he resumes his old role. What can I say, people? This is FSG. This is what FSG do. They when there's transfer windows coming up, when there's arguments coming up, what do? They take everything apart, make you think they're doing other stuff, and they make you lose focus of reality. That's what they've done. And then when everything comes down, everything goes back to normal. What happens? They bring back these people that they've taken it away. This is just FSG, for them not to spend. That's the whole point of all this stuff. They brainwash all of us, and we all believe it. And unfortunately, there's fans that actually argue with me that they are good people. Well, there you go. Mark Gordon is back. Why are you leaving and coming back? Think about it. When did he leave? Before the transfer window. Now he's back. The transfer window is closed. There you go. They play mind games. Mind games. Very smart people. Very intelligent people these owners are.
It's Lewis, Darwin, Cody. So one of the, just to mention the players for the first line, I think that Sadio, Bobby and Mo together were for quite a while one of the best front three in world football. And so now we had Sadio left in the summer. And we'll see what happened to Bobby in the summer, but then Mo left pretty much. But we replaced them, and Diogo came in that time, not in the last two, but came in as well. So I think that's investment, and it's wise investment, it's responsible investment. That's what you wanted.
There's something I got to say about Sadio Mane. And obviously Bobby Firmino. Rich says, cheers bro, easy win for you guys, probably. Yeah, listen, I'm not here to brag anymore. I think I've gone past that stage. I put a video up just to make fun of you guys, so I hope you watched it. It was quite entertaining, if you know what I mean, bro. But thanks for coming on, bro. Much appreciated, by the way. Yeah, so let me say something to you about Sadio Mane, guys. Right, Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino are the most and some of the other players are the most selfless people in the club. I mean, like Sadio Mane knew he can't do the extra yard anymore. He hasn't got that pace that he used to have anymore. So in order for the love of his life, which is the Liverpool Football Club, the club he loves, to succeed, he has to go, innit? So he said to Jurgen Klopp, I have to go. Same as Firmino saying to Jurgen Klopp, I have to go. Let the youngsters come through and take over those positions, those hard working positions and those difficult positions that players of today's era are going to find, hard to replace the likes of Mane and Firmino. So if you do it at age of 23, 22 or whatever ages they are at the moment with Gakpo and Nunes, they got like a few years to go until they reach the heights that Mane and Firmino did. So that's what you got to look at about these two players. They're the most selfless players ever. They knew their time is up at Liverpool Football Club. It's not out of like, oh, I want to leave because I want to go to a bigger club kind of attitude. They're kind people. And they know this club means a lot to them. So in order for the club to improve, they just left. At the time, the peak is gone. So that's what's happening with Firmino as well. Same as Mane, same as Ronaldo. Selfless players, man, sacrifice their own games in order for Liverpool Football Club to succeed. I've never heard any of them say I'm going to Bayern Munich or Real Madrid when they're in their prime or anything like that. Never gave us a problem throughout the entire stay at Liverpool Football Club, and I actually congratulate them for that. And I will always appreciate these players for that as well, because I, for one, remember players like Suarez and Torres and all these guys wanted to leave for more money, for more, exposure, more trophies in other clubs. But these guys stayed at Liverpool Football Club until they actually reached their peak and after that. So you got to think about it, people. They're legends. They're legends. Firmino is a legend. Mane is a legend. Ronaldo is a legend. You know what I mean? These guys have gave us their all, sacrificed their own game in order for Liverpool Football Club to succeed. And I will never forget that, man. Great players. So let's continue with the actual interview.
You need and what we needed. This year they were unfortunately most of the time injured. That didn't help, obviously, but they were here anyway, or Cody came only lately. So, and this has to be now in a similar manner. We will do that for other parts of the team, and that will be possible. That's all.
And Mike being back, or taking more responsibility back?
I think that it makes absolutely sense that if Mike Gordon wants to say something about that, then you ask him. Yeah.
Can you give us that chance?
I have his number. Yeah.
Onto the football anyway, but it might only be for a couple of hours, but you can go into the top 4 on Saturday, albeit on goal difference. And whether or not you create a fear amongst those other teams that are challenging for the top 4, does it feel like you create a fear amongst them when you're chasing them down because you've been in this position before? And if so, how do you as a team, as a group, feed off that?
Again, two different things. So it's a general, we have to chase, and we have to challenge pretty much everybody. But that's only a little side story, because the main thing is going to Bournemouth and playing a game there and not counting the points before you have them. So, and I'm much too long in the business, and saw the last few days a lot of Bournemouth football, and the way they play and stuff like this, that can be really uncomfortable for each team. And only the last one against Arsenal, where everybody saw how much Arsenal, obviously in a...
You know, with Bournemouth, people, you got to think about it. Bournemouth is not an easy team to play against, especially like they're battling at the bottom half of the table. So they're gonna come with like everything they have against Liverpool, and it's not gonna be as easy as we think it is. Especially you look at the away performance against Arsenal at the Emirates, and I thought they were outstanding. If they had a decent finisher, I think they would have had more goals than the 2 they scored. So it's going to be a difficult game. We'll just have to find a way to beat Bournemouth, especially in that tight stadium. It's not going to be, ticky-tacky kind of football we have to play. We have to play in a battling way, like the old days, in order for us to beat Bournemouth. And Dominic Solanke, he's looking impressive, but the goals are missing from him. So, yeah, so we've got to look into that. Like, it's not going to be as easy as people think it is. Yes, we beat Man United by 7-0, but it doesn't mean anything if you go to the likes of Bournemouth and, not get a win. So let's just like even it out. It's a difficult game.
A really good moment. How much they had to fight and stretch luck, if you want. It's always a late winner is probably is a bit lucky as well, even when they deserved it. Then you know exactly what's going on, and you have a look at the fight for the relegation. So we might fight for the Champions League spots. We will see how the results will be in the next few weeks. But the fight for staying in the league is as exciting.
You know what's crazy? Like if we win against Bournemouth, I don't know if Tottenham played before us or after us, we could go ahead of Tottenham. We could be at fourth position already, same points but goal difference. That's how crazy the season is. Majority of the time we spent 10th position. Now we could be like in the top 4. Does this league look as great as it was before? I don't think so. You know what I mean? We should be way behind everybody else in the league. But somehow we're back in the top 4 race. How is this happening if this league is as good as people say it is? It's crazy. Let's get back.
Exciting if you want, and means each point can make a massive difference, and I'm 100% sure that Bournemouth will fight like crazy, and that's something we have to expect. There's nothing else to think about. It's a general thing that we all know we want to, and I said it before, we want to squeeze everything out of this season. That means obviously if it's somehow possible, we want to go into the top 4 clear, but nobody knows that in the moment, but it must be our aim anyway. And but it has nothing to do with the game and not thinking about whatever other stuff. It's just being fully focused about Bournemouth.
Jurgen, as much as the 7-0 win over United must have given everybody a massive boost here, just how much of a delight was it for you to get 3 clean sheets in a row?
It's in the league more, but fine. I know in between was another game. Yeah, that's all about. It's that's the basis for everything. Yeah. So the way you defend gives you the stability to create and to attack, and that was very helpful. Said it now before, and I understand 100% that for a few days at least it was a massive story. For us, really not so much, because again, long enough in the business, knowing the performance is super important to us, because that's really something we have to build on and use. The result is just not important. It's yeah, we won 7-0, which is quite strange. It's nice for when we all coming back in 10-15 years, watching a game. Maybe I've got tickets for another derby. Then I sit there and then people will remember that once we did that. But that's then it might be important on that day. It's not important today. So it was a good game, and we have to keep going.
How difficult or easy is it for you to be able to draw a line under that, and for the players to have that attitude as well? Because obviously it's not going to count for a huge amount if you can't back it up with a good performance away at a team at the bottom of the league.
Yeah, and it's even a bit more complicated. But the first game against Bournemouth was obviously a similar result. So when we played here, and if I knew after 9-0 it will be no fun when we go there, because that's not the easiest motivation for the colleague of all time. So and now with this result before, of course, that's it's just one of the informations you have, not more. Bournemouth plays a different system. We don't play at home, which obviously in this season, if you look at our points tally, I think with home games, the home table we are in the top 4. The away table we are far away from that, so we have to show consistency there as well. We have to step up. We have to make sure that we create the atmosphere on the pitch we need, and then use it. But it's a football.
You know, with the manager, like, it's been a tough season, people. Like, it has been a difficult season, but we have to look at the bigger picture. How the season started, what players we bought, and when we bought them as well. If you could look at Gakpo, we bought him in January, and the rest we bought in the summer. So it was always going to take time for our team to gel, and we didn't do enough investment on top of that as well. So if you look at that, like that last season, like 64 games in every competition, we made it to the final. And then you come in the summer, pre-season, no one's really come in apart from Nunes. And you keep thinking like there's a midfielder coming in, there's this player coming in, there's that player coming in, but it's not happening. And then you wait until January to get Gakpo. It's for a manager like Klopp. Let me say something to you people. Like, if you look at Klopp, he's emotional. I always say this to you. He's emotional. It takes a lot out of him to complete a season, especially with his energy and his anger. It stresses you out. It actually makes you tired, things like this. This is why he gave Pep Linders a lot of responsibilities this season, but it failed. Because Pep Linders is just an assistant. He's not a video manager. He never was, never will be. So I think like from the last month or so, Klopp has taken over the reins. He's making the decisions again. If you look at the team, it's changed slightly. Salah is coming in off the left, and Nunes is coming. So Salah is coming off the right, and Nunes is coming off the left. They join it up with a striker, which is Gakpo now, who's taking Firmino's position. We already know that about now. So if you look at our team, it's like the Klopp team again. It looks like they're battling together. You look at Harvey Elliott running up and down that pitch like Henderson used to. You look at young Besiktas, he's running up and down that pitch, and you look at Fabinho looking at himself again, and then you got Van Dijk and Konate at the back, solid as they should be, and then you got Trent creating goals, running up and down that wing, and then you got Robertson in the other side. So it's like the old Liverpool if you look at it. And with Klopp, it takes a lot out of him. He's trying to balance it out so he could have a longevity at Liverpool Football Club. But unfortunately, he hasn't got that kind of assistant that he could trust, like Buvic, like he had before. And you know, him and Buvic, they get along, but Buvic and Pep Linders don't get along. So if he comes back, it'll cause a rift around the coaching staff. So he needs to think about long and hard what he's going to do in the summer, and especially with his coaching staff. I think he needs a little bit of freshening up there. And as soon as we sort out the recruitment team, the analyst team, the doctor and all that stuff, I think we'll be fine after that. But he needs to look at himself in order for him to have that longevity as a manager, especially at Liverpool Football Club. I want him to stay as long as possible. He's only 54, 55, so he could stay another 10 years. He said that he could go for another 10 years. So if he has that motivation and he has that rest in between while his coaches take over the reins while he needs a rest, I think like this manager can be like around for a long time. And like I've said to you guys before, Jurgen Klopp never says he wants to go to Barcelona. These teams are always interested in him. Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, the German national team. They always want Klopp. But Klopp always says, I want to stay at Liverpool because this club is my club and I love this club. He always says that. And in order for him to do that, first of all, we need to refresh the team. Second of all, we need the coaching staff to support him. Third, backroom staff, emergency. We need to sort that as soon as possible. You look at Arsenal, they sorted that stuff out. Now look where they are, top of the league. And this is how it works out. Backroom works, it connects towards the first team. As soon as all that stuff connects, you become all as one, and then you start dominating again. That's what happens, man. And this is what we need to work on. That's why we miss Peter Moore. Mark Gordon is come back. But how long is he going to stay here for? Is he going to decide to leave again? There's a lot of stuff we've got to look at, people, man. There's a lot of stuff that's happening behind the scenes that needs to be sorted for this manager to be fresh again. You look at him, he's always, looks tired. He looks like not the Klopp that we know. I mean, like what he learned this season? Let me say something to you guys. What he learned this season? When you're down there, when you're like at your lowest, it's not a nice place to be because everybody turns against you. When you're on your height, everybody's with you. But at the end of the day, what he needs to realize, the fans have been there throughout with him. I remember Kenny Dalglish in 1991 took him to the limit and he left. A lot of people blamed him, like even our own fan base had got Kenny Dalglish, believe it or not, our greatest player, my greatest manager, about not starting Peter Beardsley throughout that season. And even our own fans can do things like that to you. But these fans of the modern era, they back the manager, they back the owners to the hilt, but they have to balance it out. Can these owners take us forward? I don't think so. This is why I come in. This is why other people come in and try to remind them Liverpool is bigger than what these owners provide. If you know what I mean. We need owners that can actually invest and give us more promise in the future. If like when we're up there, we stay up there and we build on it, but not come back down like we did in the last couple of seasons. It's crazy stuff. So Katie says clean sheet, another win. Please, can't drop any points at this stage. 100% right, Katie, 100% right. Thank you for coming on, by the way. I haven't seen you for a while. Congratulations, Fozzy, on reaching 700 subscribers. Beyond happy for you. Listen, like I said, it's not always about the subscribers. I remember there was about 10 of us back in the day, Katie. So it's good to reach 700, but we need people on, you know what I mean, on the messages and, helping us out on the channel as well. The viewing is good, but come on, contribute. You got an old Liverpool fan here, you know what I mean? So that's what you got to go for. As he says, Gakpo has officially arrived. Yes, I did put that on Twitter, on my official Twitter profile, which is Fozzy79, and a lot of people have tuned into that. Much appreciated, Aziz. And John Conway, this is the best guy on YouTube. This guy, he goes to every Liverpool channel and contributes, man. People like that deserve rewards, man. So whoever's watching, look after this guy. He's a brilliant person. Congratulations on 700 subs, Fozzy. Thank you, bro. So you remember when we was like 300, 200, 100? Like it goes up in it eventually. And like I said, I've come back and I want to be consistent now, bro. We just have to get the fan base on this channel back and get it going like we used to, get the comments going, people interacting. Because like I've said, like I want us in the future, you guys give me messages, so when I come on, I could answer for you guys, and then we could all share stuff, if you know what I mean. So this is what I want to do in the future. So let's get back to the interview.
football game like all the others, and we have to make sure we are ready for that.
Jürgen, you talked about last week ahead of the game against Wolves about giving the season a little push with the 2 home games coming up, and you talked a bit about consistency as well. Do you feel you've got that consistency, and also did you notice a little bit of difference in training this week because coming off the back of those 2 games?
Yeah, there's no better mood booster than a good game. Before, so yes, of course you see that, but in the end, we had consistency, if you want, in the league now in the last 5 games, but that's always how we've spoken a lot about it. It's like confidence. It's a fragile little flower, and we have to make sure that we keep that, and we have to understand in the right way. So I loved the goals we scored. But I love more because it's not likely that you always finish the situations off. You can have 7, 8 chances in a football game, even against United, but that you finish them all off and score, that's really unlikely. But the way there was everything involved.
You know what's amazing about that game, people? I think someone said like it was about 8 shots, 7 goals. Basically, you scored every shot you took. That's crazy. That's very rare at Liverpool. Very rare.
There was good play. Super counter-attacking. It was what always was there. Was really good defending before. So winning ball backs, if it was high up the pitch in the counter press situation, and these kind of things, they bring you consistency. You should not expect to score now from all situation again. So that's of course not. But we have to create in this manner, and we have to use all the little situations. So we had counter attacks. If you want, out of open play, we had it after set pieces. All things we really need, and didn't have it that often this year, to be honest. I think for all goals there were plenty of options in the box, like bodies in the box were 3, 4, 5 even, and that's always something you need as well. So that's what we take, and that's what we try to recreate, and to get consistency in. But there's so many games to play, and we are really. We have what we said before. We have to chase pretty much everybody, and that means tomorrow, Bournemouth, and that's what we'll try to do.
Hi. Cody Gakpo and Darwin Núñez both got a couple of goals each against United. Given the pressure now on players when they join a club, particularly one as large as Liverpool, to hit the ground running, how pleased are you with their performances, and how do they deal with that pressure?
Very well. They deal very well with it. I think we deal very well with it altogether, because we don't put extra pressure on the players. Never did, will never do. But that doesn't mean that there is no, because we know the world can be a quite intense place, especially when you cost a lot of money, stuff like this. A lot of things are said, a lot of things are written, and all these things you have to deal with that. But it's now obviously a point. But you can see for Cody, it went obviously really quickly. We were hoping for that. You never know 100%, but we're hoping for it, and really probably the game he played. The contribution now is really obvious. Same for Darwin, and same like it was for Luis. It's super important. Like it was for Diogo when he came in. So the boys, I think, obviously, scouting can be never perfect, because you only know a person really when a player only when he's then.
Sorry to stop, guys. You know, like if you look at Cody Gakpo and Núñez and Salah, what I like about them 3 is the interchange. They're more interchangeable than Mane, Firmino, and Salah. These 3, what I like about them is if the game ain't working out, Gakpo will go to the left, Núñez will come to the middle. Sometimes Salah goes to the middle, Núñez goes to the right. So they interchange in a brilliant way that confuses the centre-backs of the opponents, because they are used to probably Gakpo staying with them throughout the game. And then all of a sudden you switch to a pacey person, or all of a sudden you switch to a pacey person with technical ability. You know what I mean? So it confuses that centre-backs in the other teams, and it's working now. If you look at in the last few games, we're winning, we're getting clean sheets, and it's happening. So just keep an eye on that when you watch games as well, people. Good advice,
Really around you, but obviously we were really spot on in this moment. So we signed the player, but the boy behind as well, and both worked really well. So I'm really happy with the development. Thank you.
Jürgen, just on Bobby's decision, did he come and see you last week and tell you about that? Did you see it coming? Were you surprised by his decision?
Yes, he told me. Surprised, yes, a little bit, but was not hit by surprise. It was like, no, that's just a normal thing to do, but it could go two ways. No, and there was one. And I respect that a lot. And yeah, it's completely normal in this kind of long relationship what we have, and Bobby has with the club and with most of the players and stuff like this, and with the fans, of course. It's pretty special, and I love the reception he got when he came on against United. And actually, he told me, and then the only other thing he said is, yeah, but now I wanna bring this wonderful story to a positive end. So that's it. So he's completely here, and that's all we need to know. And from then, there's no time for a goodbye or whatever. And from in this moment, we have enough time for that later in the season. And yeah, whenever he will come back, everybody knows that. Yeah, the song is still will be for a long time still in everybody's ears, I'm pretty sure. So and no problem. I think he's one of these players. Even when he would come with an opposition team, people would be really happy to see.
There's clarity with Bobby's situation. I just wonder what the situation is very more on. There's the Ox, Cater, and particularly Jake Norman, because he said in the week he's very...
That's it. Emotional times, isn't it? Bobby Firmino is going to be leaving at the end of the season. How sad is that, man? Oh, I'm going to miss that guy. Always brings me joy with his smile and his, infection, like, towards all of the fans, you know what I mean? And he never... There's no one like him. There's just no one like Bobby, man. I'm going to deeply miss that guy, man. What a shame, man. What a shame. There's only one Bobby Firmino. Sorry, people. I don't know. My thing is crashing. So let's look at the games. If you look at what I'm looking at right now. Let me put this up a bit for you. Don't know what's going on here. If I put it up a bit, so you make it bigger for you. So if you look at that last few games, so our last defeat in the Premier League is probably Wolves, the 3-0. That 3-0 woke up a lot of people. We have, that shouldn't happen. I'm sorry. You don't lose to the likes of Wolves away, and especially by 3-0 and you're not showing any fight. So we look, Everton 2-0, Newcastle away 2-0. That's not bad, is it? This one, it's bad. I still got a little bit of hope after the performance against Man United. Anything is possible. 8 shots, 7 goals. Maybe he could do that in this game. You never know, innit? And then you got the 0-0 with Crystal Palace. It was disappointing, this game, because the Crystal Palace were there for the taking, but we played like safe kind of football, which we shall not lose. We should not be playing like that, man. Go and win your game. So Wolverhampton 2, Liverpool 0, and then you got Man United, Liverpool 7, Man United 0. So if you look at our performances, clean sheets are back, and it's continuing. From the Newcastle game, from the Everton game onwards, we've been keeping clean sheets, and it looks great. It looks great, man. And I just hope we keep it up in the next few games, because when you have the likes of Konate and Van Dijk at the back, you're more solid, aren't you? You're more comfortable. You're more in tuned, and their pace gets them out of trouble. Yes, Van Dijk hasn't got the pace that he used to have anymore, but he could get about. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm happy with that. It's not too bad. So you look at the table. Arsenal top of the league, 63 points. Manchester City 58 points, and you got Man United 49 points. Tottenham 45, Liverpool right behind them with a game in hand with 42 points. Look at that, people. We've lost the most with Tottenham, and we're still up there. Like I said, my target is 3rd place. I'm not giving up on that. I want to get those Manx off our perch. So yeah, hopefully we'll do that eventually. 42 points, 7 points behind Man United. It's doable, but they have to lose, don't they? We don't face them anymore. Yeah, so that's the table so far. All the way down to the bottom. As you can see, Bournemouth right at the bottom. Don't let the league fool you. They're better than what they look there. The way they played against Arsenal the other day was the most impressive thing I've ever seen, man. Especially that extra minute that referee gave. Sometimes you got to think about it. Like, do they want to make the league competitive so they're willing to sacrifice certain games? But if you do that, do an illegal thing, whatever you're doing, giving that extra minute, extra seconds, teams like Bournemouth will go down. You know what I mean? And they get relegated because of your hunger and your stupidity. There you go. So we'll move on to the next stage, which is the last time we faced Bournemouth was 9-0. That's when the emergency meeting happened, when FSG had to fly from Boston to Liverpool and check out what the problems are. As soon as they arrived, they said, man, you won 9-0. There's no problems. We don't need to spend. It's time to go back. And that's what happened. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. So ever since then, we haven't recovered, and we have recovered obviously, but I'm saying to the extent we've been 10th throughout the season, and now like we're back in the top 4 race. It's because of a manager like Jurgen Klopp, innit? That's what it is. Jurgen Klopp doesn't settle for second best, and a lot of people keep saying, "Oh, he has that second season syndrome." You know that was it 7 years syndrome? Like, come on, man. The guy has never had the opportunity to rebuild a team in his entire career, because his best players was getting sold to the likes of Bayern Munich and that. So it's going to happen to every manager. If you keep selling your best players, what's going to happen? You're going to deteriorate. That's what happened to him. So now he got to keep his best players, and he's going to add on some more hopefully in the near future. And then we're going to compete again. Hopefully with investors coming in, because it doesn't look like FSG is going anywhere anytime soon until we all stick together and get them out. Yeah, so let's do the obviously about the match. Obviously we're going to be talking about it. Bournemouth are bottom of the league. They're 20th in the league. They're trying to get out of that. They're not too far, I think, from the teams above them. They're not too far. So if you look at they could climb out the top, the bottom half if they beat Liverpool. So they could come out of the relegation zone. That's how tight it is down there. And if they have a little bit more belief, they can do it. They can do it, and that's what's worrying me more than anything, and especially with the players they have as well, like Solanke and players like that. Solanke, I thought he was impressive the other day against Arsenal. I thought he was fantastic. If that kid can get like the finishing boots on top of his quality, I think he's going to be phenomenal in this league, and someone else might take him eventually and turn him into the star that he deserves to be. Because there's a reason we bought him. I mean, there's a reason we bought him. We know the potential was there. It's just it didn't come up together all at once, if you know what I mean. He's a Champions League winner apparently. Crazy. Yeah, so Bournemouth ain't gonna be easy. I'm already like worried to a certain extent because of the performance against Arsenal. We have to find a way. We have to have a battling team out there to face them and not give them opportunities, if you know what I mean, in that tight pitch. If we give them opportunities, we're in trouble. Deep trouble, as Eddie Murphy says. So yeah, we move on to the next thing, which is the final thing, and then we have to, give it a rest. I come back from work, people. I'll do this for you guys. I'll make a promise. I'll deliver. I got caught out. Yes, the starting lineup. The starting lineup, my peoples. Let's do this. Please, if you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell, like, and everything, all that good stuff. I don't pressure people. It's up to you. It's up to you. If you're going to get content like this for free, I'm always there. Yep, I'll start with Alisson. Let's just start with Alisson, innit? Just give Alisson a chance. I mean, he could be the best goalkeeper in the world. We don't know. Maybe. Obviously, Trent has been defensively sound, and we're going to continue with this guy. He's a bit shaky at the moment. Come back for injury. He's not going to be the same player. Obviously, he's going to take him time to become the player that we want him to be. So he'll be there eventually. Of course, the governor. I'm always going to put Van Dijk there. The best defenders is Alan Hansen. I always say that. Yes, that we had Hoopiers, Carragher's and Raddocks and all these guys, but this guy is competing with the likes of Messi and Ronaldo for a Ballon d'Or. What more evidence do you need? I know I keep saying that word. I love it. Robertson played. I'll play him again. But the thing is, Tsimikas hasn't done a bad job when Tsimikas started. But after that performance, with that 7-0 against Man United, Robertson has to start. Fabinho, he's back. He's back, people. I criticised him a lot. I said a lot of things about Fabinho, how slow he is. Is he actually 29 or is he 39? You know what I mean? But now, like, the midfield around him, the right personnel around him, he's looking safe. He's looking safe. So I've got to give him credit for that. But is this the number 6 that we need in the future? Do we need a person that's, like Jamie Phillips said, we need a person that actually can be the enforcer, can be the interceptor, the person that's going to lead the team from the back to the front. Why do we have to build a team around the number 6? It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be other players carrying the number 6. The carrying should be done by him, if you know what I mean. So, yeah. So, Fabinho back. I have to rest a few players, you know what I mean? I think Besitic should come back. As you heard from Klopp, what's his name? Thiago's not too far. So, hopefully he'll be back very, very, very soon. I think to build Harvey Elliott's confidence, he's still got to play. He's still got to play. You can't leave Harvey Elliott out, especially with his closing down, his creativity now. Everything's coming together. He looks more of a threat than before. On the left-hand side, I was thinking Henderson, but I don't know, you know. I really don't know. I could bring in Milner, because Henderson, when he plays more than one game, he struggles. He really struggles, man. He performed like the captain that we need against Man United, but after that, like, he deteriorates immensely as well. I wouldn't mind Milner coming in, you know. This is his last season in a way. We need to battle in the middle. You know what? I'll start with Milner. I'll give Milner a chance. Let's give Milner a chance. Front three, for me, don't change it. Keep it as it is. Firmino comes off the bench and helps them out. Gakpo is learning that position, the Firmino position. What I like about Gakpo is he comes deep, collects the ball and goes forward. Passes, crisp passes to the actual players as well. It's the difference between him and the old guard, which is Firmino. When Firmino had the ball in the middle here, the ball used to bounce off him and he used to irritate me. I love Firmino. Please don't misquote me. I love Firmino. He's a top player. But what used to anger me is when he used to lose the ball in these areas. The ball just bounces off him, goes to the opponents, and they go attacking and nearly score. So with Gakpo, what I like about him, he controls the ball. He uses his strength. He turns players, and his passes actually go to players. He doesn't have to make the opponents guess where he's gonna pass. So if he's going this way, he'll pass that way. That's what he does. That's how good he is, man. So and his presence, what impresses me about Gakpo, his presence. He's tall, he's strong. He uses his physique when he's running as well. But he still needs that muscle. He needs a muscle, man. He needs to eat. You know what I mean, and get bigger. Spend time with Arnold or something like that. You know what I mean, and show him the old ways of bodybuilding. Yeah, so that's what he needs to do in order for him to compete with the rest of the players in that position, if you know what I mean. Yeah, but I'm impressed so far. I've always said that, just give the guy a chance. 1 month doesn't prove anything. You know what I mean? The person needs to be in the team for a longer term in order for him to put his stamp on the team, and that's what Gakpo is doing. Nunes is Nunes. I think next season is going to be the top scorer in the league, the way he's going with Haaland. But is he going to be the left winger for the rest of the season? I don't know. When Diaz comes back, that left side position is going to be strengthened even more, because Diaz is that left side, if you know what I mean. He is the Mane replacement. So I'm assuming Nunes might have to move forward, and we're going to probably play double pivot, if you know what I mean. 2 here, 1 here, Nunes there, and 1 on the left. Maybe that's what we're gonna play eventually. We don't know. But that looks more of a team that's technical, especially if Thiago comes in or Bellingham comes in, and these other players come in as well. Yeah, so that's my formation. Obviously 4-3-3. That's what we play. Harvey Elliott has to stay in the team. He's young, isn't he? He's young and fresh, man, and he's got all that energy to burn. So if you keep him in the team, he'll get better and better and better. I lost hope in him, but in the last few games, I've got the hope back. You know what I mean? And I've got hope in him now, because he's showing me, man. If you show me the fight, I'll support you to the hilt. If you don't show me anything, I'll criticize you just like other fans would do, man. Everyone deserves criticism, people. I know he's only young, but he needs to want to play for Liverpool, not like forced to play for Liverpool. He has to want it. And now it looks like he wants to play for Liverpool, which impresses me more than anything. Yes, big up Mr. Football Century. Yes, 700, bro. 700 subs. Thanks to you guys. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't get here. There's 700 subs, but I need 700 people on. You know what I mean? So thank you very much, honestly, man. Thank you very much. Yeah, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be here. So I always appreciate that. So that's the formation I got for you. I'm hoping it's something like this, but we've got to be more in tuned. We've got to be more tighter. We've got to fill those gaps. Make sure Bournemouth don't get through these little gaps. Make sure we defend from the front and keep the ball up here at the top. So if we keep the ball at the top, there will be less problems for the midfield and beyond that, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, just keep the ball here. Gakpo drop deep, get the ball, feed these two when they're going through and go and get some goals. What do I think is going to happen in this game? I think we're going to win. I think we're going to keep a clean sheet and get that 4th position. Why not? Why do we have to give up on it? I mean, yes, Tottenham are struggling, but it doesn't. Their failure ain't nothing to do with us. It's their problem. You know what I mean? So my score prediction is 2-0 Liverpool. 2-0. Let's beat that. I think the confidence is back. I think like Liverpool is back to where we want to be, and I have no doubts like before. If you know what I mean. You know, when Liverpool, once they go on a run, they don't stop. And this is what's going to happen in the next few games. I believe in that. That's how I see Klopp. This is how Klopp works. He always does that. Starts off slow sometimes, and it takes you straight away to get back to where you belong. And I'm hoping it keeps on going. Just keep the players out of injuries, isn't it? And then we could go to that Real Madrid game and beat Real Madrid. Listen, if we beat them by 2-0, 3 goals, or whatever it is, like, listen, get 2 goals in the first half, get 1 more in the second half, take them to extra time and beat them. We've done it before. We beat Real Madrid, so we beat Barcelona by 4-0 at Anfield. Come on, man. These Real Madrid players ain't Galacticos, are they? So I've got hope. I've given myself a hope. Yeah, so people, that's me. Please, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Follow us on our social medias, which is Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, of course. I'll be back in it. I'll be back after the game, do the review. We could discuss the good or the bad or the ugly. You know what I mean? We could discuss either one, and then we could talk about it all together. See you soon, my peoples. Take care, everybody. Oh, there's a message. Sorry. No Gary Lineker, no Shearer, no Wright, equal no match of the day, no studio. Man. Presentation and punditry as well. It's gonna be weird. Get Des Lynam back, innit? Get good old Des back, man. I know he's old, but maybe that's what you got to do. Go back to the old route and get Alan Hansen back, Trevor Brooking. You know, that's what I grew up on when I was a kid. Maybe that's what we need to bring back, the old school, just to rather start the season. You know what I'm saying? And listen, the Twitter is a diseased place, man. I've been on it since the beginning, and I've seen some weird stuff on there. And Gary Lineker, the likes of Gary Lineker, and these people should stay away from things like that. They're way too high up to be debating on those kind of platforms, man, and saying silly things. I mean, you're too good for that. You're too good for that, Gary. But good luck, man. Good luck on your future, man. Maybe you're gonna see him in BT Sport or Sky Sports. You don't know. Maybe he's gonna move into things like that in the future. Look at Richard Keys and Andy Gray. They're at BN Sport in Qatar. They're getting a lot of money. Never know, innit? Yes, people. I know, Football Central. I know. Man said there's Lionel. Yeah, man, get him back, bro. I know he's old, but that's that was my dream back in the day, watching those people, especially Match of the Day with the goal of the month. Come on, man. Those were the days. They haven't got things like that anymore. I feel sorry for the young people nowadays, man. They don't have entertainment like that anymore. Sad, man, sad. But people, I have to go, man. I've just come back from work and I did this, man. You know what I mean? That's how committed I am to this. So please, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. There's Lennon! Get him back, man. I need him back.